This woman had been pregnant for 13 years, and she couldn't give birth. One day, a husband and wife lived in the suburbs. The wife was heavily pregnant, but her husband decided to leave town. She begged him not to leave her, but he refused. Before leaving, he gave her a jar containing medicine, which he claimed would delay labor until he returned. He promised to return in time for the birth of their child. The wife, terrified and alone, continued to obey her husband's orders. She took the medicine for years. Time passed, and 13 years later, the jar was empty, and their house was filthy. The child in her womb had grown into a teenager, able to talk and interact with its mother. Due to her enlarged belly, the mother could no longer walk and could only crawl. The woman felt very lonely. One day she heard a voice and thought her husband had returned. It turned out to be a cat. Exhausted and hungry, she caught and killed the cat for food. Throughout her life, she often talked to her unborn child, who constantly complained of being tired of eating the same food and begged to be born. The mother always refused, afraid of losing her child if she abandoned him like her husband. At night, the mother's pain peaked, and the labor-delaying medication had worn off. The child, growing up inside her womb, sensed her mother's suffering and again begged to be released. The mother begged her child not to leave her. Taking this as consent, the child stretched, dropping all of her mother's internal organs, leaving only the outer skin. The child then wore her mother's skin as a bodysuit and cleaned herself and the house. Now she was free to walk around. One morning, as she was making tea, the door opened. Her father had finally returned after 13 years. He ignored questions about where he had gone. Knowing her husband would ask about her belly, the woman told him she had lost their child. However, her husband seemed unconcerned and simply suggested having another baby. Although she admitted she didn't want to repeat this cycle, the narrative ends with the child doing nothing to stop her husband.